Hey y'all, so just got done with today's workout and it's a real fun one. It's 5 rounds for time, and I would really prioritize the technique on this one, so change that, scratch it. 5 rounds for intensity and technique. It's going to be a 200-meter double dumbbell farmer carry with heavy dumbbells, and then when you come back in, you're going to use the dumbbells to make your push-ups have a little bit of a deficit to them, so then you're going to do 20 deficit push-ups. So 5 rounds, 200-meter farmer carry, 20 push-ups. And really, this one, I think it's a fun one. Your cardio is kind of low and you're out of breath the whole time, but you never get to that just like dizzying, I can't move forward mode. So it's just a long, slow one. I think obviously the grip on the farmer carry is going to be most people's limiting factor on that. So what I like to think about is I hold kind of back on the dumbbells a little bit so I can get some of the head of that dumbbell touching my palm and let that other side kind of hang down in front. And then when I'm going, especially knowing that cardio is not going to be the limiting factor, it's going to be grip. I'm just trying to move as fast as I possibly can to get the dumbbells out of my hand as fast as I can. So on that first round, I considered just going 200 meters unbroken, and it was starting to burn. And at the halfway point, I put it down and I was like, I think I'll just be smart and put it down. Came back and it got really hard on the way back to finish out that 200 meters. And then each round got just harder and harder and harder, as you would expect. So my recommendation to you would be to come out way more conservative than I did. Don't try and break it up into halves, because that first round feels great. And by that third round, it's just like, run, put it down, run, put it down. So I think I was breaking it up maybe 3 times on the way out and 3 times on the way back in that last round. So what I recommend is, instead of burning your grip out, putting it down and having to rest for so long, I recommend much shorter intervals. So kind of go as quickly as you can with that farmer carry, put it down, shake it out, pick it up, and just repeat shorter intervals so you don't hit those kind of failure moments with your grip. So that's what I would do. If I would change it as round 1, instead of just breaking it up 1 time, I'd probably go ahead and break it up 6 times, and it'll probably feel like a joke, knowing that if it is a joke in rounds 3, 4, and 5, I can always go unbroken on those then. So I'd come out a little conservative and just kind of see how you feel in rounds 2 and 3. Push-ups, they got super hard. So I had been catching myself on videos not being very proud of making sure I get every single rep locked out at the top, and they've been just a little gray area up there. So I just wanted to be sure that today every single rep was perfect and locked out. And if I had a goofy rep in there, I tried to get my focus back and just make it happen. So I went 20 unbroken on the first 2 rounds, and then I really bombed out. And I kind of saw it coming, because on that second round of 20, it started to get hard at 15, and I went for 20 anyway. And I did it fine, but it was like I could tell I pushed it a little too hard. And then sure enough, coming back on that next one, the plan was 20. I got to about 10 and it got really hard, and then I started going again and it was just gone. So I went 5 and 5, and I had to start taking a lot of rest in between those. So just like the farmer carry, I would recommend on the push-ups, being a little more conservative than you think, especially if you're going for that high technique focus, just because that little bit extra of deficit of going deep into those push-ups does make a good difference. So the other thing to consider is 20 push-ups for most people is a lot. So you should be doing a set where if you had to, you could go unbroken on that first round. You don't have to, but you should be able to. So a lot of people are going to need to adjust those push-ups down to 15 or 10, or do knee push-ups or get the bands out. So let's try and use a number that is less than a max set of push-ups would be as your number. So if your max set of push-ups is 15, let's not do 20 push-ups every round. Let's stick within what you're capable of. That way we're getting you the right stimulus today, and we're not just making this blanket, everyone does this same amount. We're trying to get everyone maximally better. So try and adjust your push-ups each round to be at or slightly under what a max set would be, and I'd come out a little conservative and probably break it up into 3 sets and see if you can maintain that through the whole time. So if you move that number from 20 down to 15, I would just try 3 sets of 5 and see if you can just be consistent with that through the 5 rounds. I think the workout took me like 16 or 17 minutes. I was not blazing by any means. So I think fastest times could be all the way down. I think you'd easily shave off a minute of every single round. So like 11, 12 minutes probably for the fastest times. And so I would just throw a 22-minute cap on yourself. And just kind of chip away, make it look good. This is a great one because there's not a lot of like stress that goes into hit and start. You just grab the dumbbells and you start heading out. Be conservative. When you come back into the push-ups, be conservative. So this is a nice one, especially if you're feeling a little burned out, just to get warmed up and just get started. And this one will kind of take care of itself from there. Hope you enjoy. Talk to y'all soon.